What do you call it?
Pollo al forno. It's a simple dish,
Okay.
very, very rustic. Marion, can you hand me a chef knife, please?
You betcha. Here you go.
We got.
Pollo al forno.
We
And
have
these are, we should tell everybody what those are.
Well, I'm using rock Cornish game hens. Marion, I'm just cutting these in half.
Okay.
Season them, a little bit of salt.
Now we should tell everybody that when you're working with any kind of raw meat in the kitchen, you really have to take precaution, right? And you do that in the restaurant too, right, John?
Always.
Yes. So
Always.
it's important that you wash your hands.
Use clean cutting boards.
Exactly. And sterilize everything afterwards. Okay.
These chickens here have been cleaned.
Yep. You
Very
wash them thoroughly.
We wash them, we scrub them. I actually scrub them out with a little bit of salt on the inside too, while I'm rinsing them on the cold water.
That's good.
So,
okay.
Little trick, we have some flour
Yep.
in a plastic bag.
All right.
And these have already been salt and peppered.
Okay. You're gonna
If you
put
just put them in,
Yeah.
my hands are dirty, so
Okay.
I'll throw them in.
I'll shake.
And just shake them up.
Yeah.
This is better than having a plate with flour and
All right.
getting
Why
flour
don't you take
everywhere.
these out with
Can
the-
you,
There's a pair of tongs over there too if you want to use them.
I'm gonna put these right inside some hot olive oil that we got going on in a skillet.
All right, so you're using a pan that you're going to put in the oven as well, right? So that's important when you make this dish. You want to first start on top of the stove, and then we're going to finish the cooking in the oven.
Nice thing about this dish is the whole thing is gonna go all together.
Yes.
So we don't have to worry about different pans.
It's a one-pan meal, so few dishes to clean. Okay, so from start to finish, how long is this recipe going to take?
Well, to prep it, it's gonna take us probably about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. From start to finish, we're looking at about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, depending on how big the Cornish game hens are.
And meanwhile, you want to have some potatoes with this, and a good trick for when you're working with potatoes, and I think you'll probably back me up on this, is if you want to get the potatoes prepared ahead of time, get them cut up and then hold them covered in cold water. I bet you do that in the restaurant a lot, don't you?
Definitely. As long as you keep them soaked in the cold water.
That way
keep
they
them from
won't turn
browning.
green. All right, so here are the potatoes.
Now what we're going
Now
to do
what?
over here is going to allow this to brown and sear on both sides.
Okay.
In the meantime, we're going to get the rest of our ingredients ready.
All righty.
We have a red onion.
Yep.
I got a sprig of rosemary, and I'm de-stemming the fresh thyme and the rosemary here.
Okay, so thyme and rosemary. Good.
We also have some fresh basil
Fresh
leaves.
basil, yeah. Want me to check this chicken here?
Sure.
All righty.
Looking for a nice,
You want a nice sear on that.
nice sear, nice dark
Okay.
brown.
Not quite yet. You use these fresh herbs.
Right, we'll put the
And-
stems over here.
Yeah.
We'll take our fresh herbs. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna rough chop them.
Yeah.
Nothing fine. We're gonna
All right.
smash a couple of loaves of garlic.
Okay, there you go. Always fresh. I'm glad. You know, do you have any tricks for garlic?
I keep it, to take the peel off the garlic, I
Yeah.
take the clove and smash it with the peel on. I
That's
take
how I do it.
It's the easiest way, instead of sitting there with a little paring knife like my grandmother used to do and take all the
She
peel
probably
off.
didn't have a big knife like
No.
that.
And then we're gonna take our red onion, peeled,
Yeah.
we're gonna cut it in half, and we're just gonna slice it.
Okay. That's easy. I like red onions in a dish because it has a nice color, don't you think?
Nice
as well as
color.
a nice sweet flavor.
Make sure we have our tomatoes ready.
Okay, and you're using.
These are Italian peeled tomatoes. These are canned. You can use fresh tomatoes. It's a lot easier when you're at home to just open up a can of tomatoes. And there's so many different types that are excellent these days. We have our fresh basil. We have our red onion. We have our garlic. And we have our fresh herbs.
And we have to wait until that's browned, right?
We do.
Okay.
We have our potatoes that have been wedged, ready to go.
Okay. The last thing you want to do is flour potatoes.
Oh, flour
Yeah.
potatoes.
And she does that so she gets a nice crust on it.
She gets a nice crust, and what
Yeah.
happens is the sauce that we're developing basically
Permeates.
thickens up. Exactly. Okay, Marianne, we got a beautiful color on
Wow, I guess we do.
this. So we're gonna put these on our plate.
Okay. Take them out.
You know, be careful. You get hot oil going on
You know,
over
after
here.
you brown them well like that, how long will this finish off in the oven? How long will
No,
it take?
we're looking at about an hour and a half in the oven.
Really?
At the max.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
At this
now.
point, we're gonna add our red onion to this. Being
Yeah.
careful.
Oh, we need a wooden spoon. Here,
Perfect.
a wooden spoon.
We just want to get them translucent, a little bit of color in them, and what's going to happen is they're just absorbing up all the flour that's in there. That's got all the. They're going to caramelize nicely.
Yeah.
To this, we're going to add our tomato.
Tomatoes next. Good. When do you add that garlic? That goes in after the tomatoes?
We're gonna add it right now, where the pan's still hot. Because the oil was so hot, we didn't want to add it
You
in
didn't
right
want to
away.
burn it.
Because we didn't want to burn it and
That's
get
a
a bitter.
smart chef talking. Okay.
So now, at this point, we're gonna add our wine, which is my
Okay.
favorite part.
All right. And we can, this is, you want to use a dry white wine?
Dry white wine. Let's say about a cup or so.
That's about a cup.
That's about
okay,
a
that's
chef's
about,
cup.
That's a chef's cup. That's right.
Our fresh herbs,
Yeah. That sauce is looking beautiful already.
some fresh basil.
Fresh basil we have right here for
We're
you.
just gonna break it up.
Okay. I always like to put the herbs in last too because
Right
you
at
know
the
they
end.
don't lose their oils that way.
The nice thing is it's all gonna bake together. All those aromas are all gonna come out of it.
Beautiful.
And we're gonna season this again.
Okay. You like to
gonna
use sea salt?
Sea salt, I love sea salt when I cook. If not, a kosher salt.
And you're just using red potatoes, but you could use a Yukon Gold type?
whatever preference
Yeah.
you have. Fingerlings, even if you wanted to give it a little bit
Fingerlings.
more. Fingerling potatoes would give it a little bit more presentation to it.
This is pretty. Okay.
The nice thing about this is you can do this dish the night before.
Ahead of time.
Refrigerate it.
Excellent.
We're gonna
Okay.
just sit our chicken right back in.
Good thing I got a pan that holds all of this, right?
Perfect.
Okay, because you need a lid, don't you?
We do.
Yeah,
We're gonna
okay.
cover it.
And the oven is on at what temperature?
The oven's on 400 degrees, preheated.
Okay, preheated.
And we're just gonna set them right in.
Okay.
We're gonna cover it.
Yep.
We're gonna go over to our oven. Just gonna put it right in.
Okay.
That's ready to go.
That's easy.
You forget about it.